Well, the sun might be going down, but the temperature, well, it's anything but going down at the moment. It's going to fever pitch at the moment as these giants, Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, the champions in waiting, get set to come up against Cunupia FC here in the Ascension tournament. Match week 18. Well, can you believe 18 weeks? And, well, they've been unbeaten for all of those weeks, but they'll be coming up against a team that they haven't quite beaten. In fact, they got a draw in their last fixture. Cunupia FC in 7th position. They've got some bragging rights at stake when they come up against Terminix Rangers. It is quite clear, nice clouds and a sunny environment. Well, it's a stark contrast to what we witnessed over the past few weeks. Lots of rain happening here in Trinidad and Tobago for the past few weeks. But it's perfect conditions. Everybody's ready because the champions will be crowned. They'll be aiming to get 18 matches unbeaten, unprecedented in the Ascension tournament, and we at Sportsmax are here to bring you all of the action. It's a big day though at the La Horquetta Recreation Ground because in our second match this evening, Defence Force, they will be coming up against Police FC. Lots at stake for both teams, just a point separating them. In fact, Police just 1 point behind the Defence Force. 37 points to Defence Force, 38 points. It's a PS Classico. It's always a heated contest, and these teams will be looking to get the better of each other and potentially claim a stake in the Caribbean Ascension tournament. My name is James Saunders, and I'm here to bring you all of the action here in the Ascension tournament. Let's take a look at the league table, but before we do that, we check out where all the teams are situated at the moment. And right at the top of the cake is the cherry. Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, yeah, they sit steady. Look at that. Beautiful, isn't it? 45 points. Haven't yet been beaten, just 3 draws. Well, the rest have been wins, I guess you guessed that already. Second place still up for grabs, as I mentioned just a while ago. Deportivo Point Fortin, they're going to be in action later this weekend rather. And Maruga at the bottom there with 4 points. So that's what it looks like at the moment. And the top 3 teams are going to be in action today. Well, we had an opportunity to speak to some of the coaches, and this is what they had to say. We start with Cunupia's coach, Michael Dufour. I'm here with Cunupia coach Michael Dufour. Final match day, what's it feeling like?
It'll be over soon. That's it, it'll be over soon. I really appreciated the tournament. For us, it would be a pre-season, and we got to firsthand see what's happening with our team in different scenarios, and it augurs well for us going forward for the next season.
Well, in terms of table position, not much on offer for you today, but you have a chance, of course, to get one over the unbeaten league leaders and waiting to be crowned Ascension champions. That must be a goal for you today.
Well, it was always a goal to beat everybody, but it didn't work out that way. But I think we're the only team that has not lost points at some point in time, whether first or second rounds, to the top 2. Well, arguably until after this afternoon's game between Army Police. So we're the only team to draw with Terminix and with the Army, and it shows that on our best day, we are forced to reckon with. Of course, we have to know how to maintain being at our best.
And how would you sum up this Ascension season?
It was awesome from the fact that we were able to showcase our talents and the talents of others were showcased. I mean, I was impressed that it was able to come off that successful in terms of the games and everything. It was well run, and now it's just for us to just go and do whatever we do. Hopefully what we do today is to win and not lose, and until the next Ascension or until we're invited in some Caribbean Cup or whatever it may be, as a team to look at.
Well, Coach, we'll be cheering you on from the sidelines, and congratulations on your performance in this year's Ascension. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Oh, he's a long way from that, in 7th position at the moment. An opportunity to perhaps get to 6th position if they can do what the other teams in this competition have failed to do, and that is to beat the league leaders. Well, speaking of the league leaders, how about some introductions as we get set to introduce you to the teams? Nice sunny conditions. When last have we seen that on a Friday evening? It's been rain for much of the past few weeks, but it's a different story today. Bright and sunny, big sunny smiles as well as the officials lead the teams. Terminix La Horquetta Rangers in red, champions in waiting. They've been crowned just about 2 weeks back. The challenge this evening, of course, to remain unbeaten in a competition that many would agree that they certainly dominated. For Cunupia FC, pride certainly at stake. Well, they do have the bragging rights of not being beaten by the top two teams at the moment, and they'll be hoping for much of the same and to end the competition on a high note. They do miss their leading goal scorer, Kevin Showtime Woodley. I'll tell you what, he hasn't played for the last couple of match weeks, but he's still up there with the big boys. 5th in the goal scoring position. Speaking of goal scoring though, well, some more goals perhaps for the players of Terminix Rangers. They're led by their skipper Jamal Crichton. Atula Guerra, he is 2nd on the goal scoring chart. 3 goals behind Brent Sam, who is the overall leader, while Kadeem Corbin will be hoping to work miracles perhaps. He's 4 goals behind Brent Sam and he's in 3rd place on 11 goals. It's a big ask, but we've seen miracles happen, and the Ascension football tournament is certainly a place to make it happen. Introduction to the folks in charge. Timothy Derry, the young official, will be in charge of this fixture. He will be assisted by Moore, Sash Ramroop, and Williams, and they will have the task of controlling what is expected to be a keenly contested fixture. Big smiles though on the face of Kadeem Graham, the captain of Cunupia FC. No pressure. Well, Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, they spoke about not having pressure coming into this match, and we spoke to their manager, Richard Ferguson.
We're here with Rangers president Richard Ferguson. You're a man just with the occasion right now. What is it feeling like right now coming into the final match day, unbeaten and already being crowned champions?
Well, it's a great feeling. But as I said, the real winners here, James, is really Trinidad and Tobago football. You know, we like to take a wider look at football in Trinidad, and it's not just about Rangers, but it's about football for the country and for the people. As you would know, football is the most popular sport in Trinidad. It has been going through some very difficult times, and I think the Ascension tournament has brought hope back to football in Trinidad. I think it was very successful. I think Sportsmax, James Saunders, Brent Sancho, all the other commentators, Jassy Marik, all these other guys were fantastic. And it brought the football to the living rooms of the people in Trinidad. And they have never seen football like that before. And I think the other very interesting point is that Rangers could go 18 games unbeaten. And I am not sure, and you could probably guide me, I don't know if that has ever been done in Trinidad before. Right? I don't think it has, and that too is something very important to look at.
Well, they've certainly been with us to enjoy all of that football that he was talking about, and boy, have we enjoyed it every single weekend for the past 18 weekends. Let's take a look at the lineup. So the teams will run out, and well, much of the same for Cunupia FC. In goal though, there's a change with Stefan Berkeley coming in place of John Pierre David, and of course they have brought back Ian Corey into the lineup after he missed out last evening, and LaShawn Green also gets a start in the lineup. Michael Defoe is the coach of Cunupia FC. For Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, well, no taking the foot off the gas. They're going full strength. Jamal Crichton, Real Gil, Atula Guerra, Kadeem Corbin, Daniel David and crew. And just one change really, Adika Ash getting a start on this Friday evening. Well, you know that song really well. It's the start of all of the action. And action indeed here at the La Horquetta Recreation Ground. It's a Friday evening. Stop what you're doing and make your way down to the ground. We've got great football action here on Sportsmax. It's a good time as well to say hello to everybody locked in on Scene TV across the Caribbean diaspora in North America, and of course on our YouTube platforms. Always a pleasure having you with us. James Saunders is my name. Brent Sancho is alongside me as well, and we will be bringing all of the Friday evening action for you. Well, here's Caleb Sturge trying to mount the first attack for Rangers, goes all the way through to the goalkeeper. Oh, can you hear the heartbeat of the rhythm section already in play? Never a dull moment here in La Horquetta. Ike Andrews in search of Kadeem Corbin. A chance for goal number 12 for him, and wow!
He came close, can't say he didn't get the opportunity. Just couldn't find the precision. But it's not something I've said quite often when it comes to that man, Kadeem Corbin. 11 goals in the competition, expecting to hit the target from that range. Yeah, he's a disappointed man indeed. Had all the time in the world to pick his spot. Well, I guess not. Ian Cowie back in the lineup for Cunupia. He's been a mainstay in defense for them. One of the few players to play almost every position in defense for Cunupia FC. Yes, Corbin. Redemption certainly might be on his mind. And if he can get Tyrone Charles going, here's Guerra. Couldn't control it. Ike Manjus helps out. Well, it turns into traffic. He lost possession. And Cunupia could be away here. St-Hilaire has to get jiggy early. And that's exactly what he did on the second attempt. Alert goalkeeping from the shot stopper for Terminix Rangers. That's exactly why he was called up to the national senior team for the past National League encounter. Well, a bumpy surface gives possession back to Corbin. Tries his luck. Oh, well, they say you have to buy a ticket if you want to win the lottery, and that's exactly what Kadeem Corbin did. Purchased his ticket, and what he cashed in with a goal, and what a beautiful goal that is. Rangers lead by 1-0. It's only minute number 3. But he's gonna have a hard look at himself in the mirror. Stephen Berkeley must have felt he could have done better. He's pointing at the sun at the moment. Hasn't been much sunshine here, but that is a bright finish, as bright as they come. And that's exactly why he's one of the competition's top marksmen, Kadeem Corbin. It's a thing of beauty. And they're well on their way to ending their campaign unbeaten if they can hold this result. I don't think anybody would have scripted that early. Did miss a sitter just a few minutes earlier. Well, talk about that for redemption. He's a Saint at the moment. He's found redemption. All those jumps are going to be beating with more veracity. Their home team, they've taken the lead early. Or can there be more? It's Daniel David. Oh, clever bit of skill from him. Opened up some space. Real Gill, undoubtedly one of the stars of the Ascension 2022. It's Ash. Highly rated by his coach, Dave Quamina, Adika Ash, although he hasn't seen much playing time for Terminix Rangers, getting the opportunity this evening. Oh, the battle for this one. It's a battle won by the team in red. Terminix did get the final touch. It will be a Cunupia throw. Maloney. That's a ball movement from Cunupia, although they've lost possession. And here comes the boogeyman, Gill. Well, nobody likes to get around him because he gets past them so easily, but not this time. Well, we might be seeing some empty seats in the stands at the moment. Don't expect that to remain empty for much longer. Folks in La Horquetta certainly love the party, particularly on a Friday evening. That's well cut off. It's Graham. Stefan Julian. Oh, that's a bad giveaway. Well won back by Trevin Cesar. You need his quality this evening. Oh, that's a good looking ball. Legal is in. But legally, a ball goes into touch and, well, certainly was an opportunity. Two best chances would have fallen to him. For that team in the stands at the moment, they'll be looking to take their chance to cement second spot. Defense force. Well, Guerra could be in here. And that's a fantastic save by the goalkeeper. Well, it's pointed to the spot, hasn't he? Timothy Derry. And, well, they can burn tires and get placards, but I don't think the protest by the defenders is going to work. He's made up his mind, it's a penalty. Well, it's certainly not a plane crash, but it's a disaster nonetheless for Cunupia FC. This is not what they would have scripted. Already down by 1-0, and Tula Guerra has an opportunity to close the gap on Brent Sam and his goal-scoring target. If he can convert from 11 yards. "13 goals in the competition for the man labeled as the Trini Ronaldinho. Can this be another one? It is. So in fact, it's goal number 13 for Tula Guerra. And Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, they're flying at the moment. But he's going to be giving himself some self-talks at the moment. But the real talk he needed was to figure out a way to stop that. And unfortunately for him, that's the one that he didn't get right. It's 2-0 to the league leaders. Oh, chance maybe for more. Corbin. Andrews. Here's Tyrone Charles. Scored a wonder goal last evening. This time his pass is cut off. Should be an interesting battle for Caleb Sturge. Oh, he's bundled over and he's looking at the referee for sympathy. None given. God, he's a tough cookie, isn't he? Just over 5'5", Caleb Sturge. Solid as a rock, though. Huh, see what I told you? Here's Real Gill, TNT Youth International. Guerra, looking for Andrews. It's well intercepted. Trevin Cesar. But he's opened up some space, hasn't he? Final ball, though, was lacking. Looking for Dominic Douglas. And, well, that's too heavy. Well, if you just joined us, it's 10 minutes, and you're seeing correctly. Terminix La Horquetta Rangers lead by 2-0 against Cunupia. They have a decent start to the Ascension season, Cunupia. Remain in the top 4 for much of the first half of the season, thanks in part to the 9 goals scored by Kevin Woodley, who was the runaway early leader. Well, had the yin early, now facing the yang of not so good results. He tried to give himself a part with the Ike Andrews and couldn't part the Black Sea. Jamal Crichton. Adika Ash, hopeful. Certainly not efficient by any means. But you might have noticed no Russ Russell Jr. in the lineup for Terminix Rangers this evening. He's been rested. Well, Kadeem Corbin, he doesn't rest. And that's goal number 2 for him. Well, it seemed like an impossible dream coming into this match. 4 goals behind the leading goal scorer. He's already scored 2. Guess who's up for the task? Guess who isn't? Well, if you're a fan of Cunupia FC, you might need an Excedrin at the moment. Headaches all around in defense. And well, when an assassin gets an opportunity, always takes a shot. Can there be a recovery for Cunupia? They're shell-shocked at the moment. Kadeem Corbin scoring 2 goals. Tula Guerra getting a penalty as well. Terminix Rangers lead by 3 goals to 0. Well, the last time these teams met, match ended 1-1. They need something special if they are to share points again in this fixture. Oh, the Gal certainly is going to give it a try. But it certainly needs something to stop the hemorrhaging at the moment, the team in black. At the moment it's free flow. It's Cowie. Long throw. Couldn't find Douglas. Headed away by the skipper. And the break is on now to Kadeem Corbin. He's got Guerra and Gill with him. He has Atula Guerra. Ike Andrews joins the party inside of the area. Guerra, bit of a handball maybe. Well, play's allowed to continue. And finally, the belated flag goes up. You can breathe a sigh of relief at the moment, Cunupia. Well, Kadeem Graham has certainly shown his quality in defense all season. It's a different story today though. Not much he could have done about the 3 goals conceded by his team. Yes, Green. Douglas loses out to Ike Andrews. So Rangers throw. Well, they can certainly take their time. Build up out of the back, Terminix Rangers. Well, no need to give that one away, but he did, and have to defend the Cunupia attack. Needed a bit more quality to find Maloney. Well, can Guerra keep this in? The battle for everything. It's well defended by Julian. Only as far as Guerra, but Julian has a second bite. Here's Ikem Andrews. Oh, he fell asleep there, the defender! And some footsie by the goalkeeper. And that perhaps stopped goal number 4 for the league leaders. They're living dangerously, Cunupia FC. Certainly need a leader in defense. He needs some help. Crichton, just off the mark. Caesar, former TNT international. Cowie. Well, he's been forced to make from a deep position, Caesar. Oh, and that's not the tidiest of passes. Fortunate that his team won back possession. Maloney. Well, I just feel if they had to get some sort of attacking penetration, got to get their best players in more forward attacking positions. And I just feel they need some quality as well when they do get in those positions. They do have a corner though. Well, he's earned it, hasn't he? 2 goals inside the opening 10 minutes of the match. Well, certainly not in a rush to take this corner. Cunupia FC have threatened in the past from set pieces. Graham, but he did get a touch and just couldn't find the direction. It's a goal kick. Well, it certainly was a David versus Goliath narrative coming into this match. Although I don't think anybody expected David to be flattened this early, as Cunupia have been. 3-0 down inside the opening 20 minutes of the match. Still without a registered shot on target. And the Red Army, well, they pour forward in search of more. Can Ikem Andrews keep it in? Sure can. Well cut out by Graham. Daniel David would keep it alive. Oh, that's clever. It's quick. Too long for anybody in red though. Oh, that's good. Some quality needed. Well, Daniel David certainly had his shot on target. Well, stopped in the end though by the defender. Wow. Never afraid to get himself into an argy-bargy, isn't he? Sturge. Can they get into a threatening position? Caesar. Paul giving that one up cheaply. And Real Gill will try to make him pay. Paul is doing dance classes at the moment. Needed the assistance of Caleb Douglas. Timely intervention, one would say. Attica Ash, Joel Russell. Well, the defensive players for Terminix Rangers certainly have more touches on the ball than any of the attackers for Cunupia at the moment. Yes, Tyrone Charles looking for room, and he wins a corner. Well, he just feel with all the hopping and puffing happening inside the Cunupia defensive area that eventually the door would be blown down yet again. Unless, of course, they can do something different. Throw for Rangers, just struggling to get it out of their own area. Douglas, too long for Caesar. First time ball aimed in at Guerra, not to be in the end. .23.5 minutes gone here at the Lock is a recreation ground. Terminix Rangers versus Cunupia FC. Oh, that's good from Ike Andrews. Crichton. Oh, that's a clever ball into Guerra. Oh, what a finish! Well, he's the author and finisher of his own destiny at the moment. And when you have 3 goals and you create chances like that for Guerra, there's going to be an addition. 4 goals to 0 to Terminix Rangers. Well, he must be wondering what else he can do. He's done everything. But when the quality is this good, look at the first time ball from Jamal Crichton and the equally efficient finish from Guerra. Top class. And the reason that Terminix Rangers are 4-0 in front. Well, I tell you what, Brent Sam is sitting somewhere in the stands wondering, hey, my top scorer title might be fading away at the moment. Well, they've been stung. Delirious at the moment. Certainly not what the doctor would have ordered for the team from Central Trinidad. Well, a chance could open up here for Daniel David to get another, and it is another. Well, it's not Tom and Jerry, but it's cartoon defending by Cunupia FC. And they are having fun. They're running up the tab. And he's not happy. Well, there's only so much a coach can say. Well, they're enjoying what they're seeing at the moment, though. Tell you who's not enjoying it, the folks in Cunupia, Central Trinidad. Two goals for Kadeem Corbin, 2 for Tulagera, and 1 goal from Daniel David. And the score heavily skewed in favor of Terminix Rangers. God, that's clever. He lost it in a bad area. A chance now for Cunupia to get another score sheet. And wow, certainly was an opportunity, not one that was accepted. And even then, after being gifted with a perfect opportunity to get on the score sheet, they still failed to hit the target. Well, a bad giveaway from the goal scorer David gave Legal an opportunity. But that was all it was, an opportunity. Still had to take it. Well, that's well cut out by Stefan Julian. Here's Douglas, looking for options. Well, didn't find one. He instead gave away possession to Ikem Andrews. Well, the intention is clear, isn't it? Looking for Guerra. Sturge sends it anywhere but near his penalty area. Oh, that's the first one the goalkeeper's touched in a while, hasn't it? Hasn't been able to get close to 5 of the ones that flew past him. No, that's not legal. Neither is that. Will be retaken. Hasn't had a tough job, Timothy Derry. Was forced, however, to hand out the rod of correction to Caleb Douglas. But all in all, he's done a good job. Well, confirmation. In fact, the caution is going to Kadeem Graham. Oh, so nothing's changed for him. He's a rocket defender. Oh, there's another man down, and perhaps more cautions to be handed out. Not this time, though. Oh, can you tell that hurts? Well, Crichton, the victim of a rogue challenge. Well, if you know anything about the man standing over this one, you'd know that he's well within range. Ikem Andrews, former TNT international, has scored from this range before, but this time he chooses the option of charity. Leslie Russell's header, anywhere but the target. Well, we've just gone past the half-hour mark, and well, haven't gotten an opportunity to breathe. It's been breakneck pace, although the flow of traffic has been in one direction. Terminix Rangers leading by 5 goals to nil. 2 goals by Atula Guerra, 2 by Kadeem Corbin, and 1 from Daniel David. Yes, Gill. Couldn't pick out Tyrone Charles. And Julian escaped pressure. He has, but Legal gives up possession. Still with Cunupia. Well, after this match, the big contest at 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Jamaican time. It's called the PS Classico. Defense Force in second come up against third place Police. Defense Force need only a draw to remain in second. Police, they need to win. Yes, Guerra. No room for a shot. Top two teams in this competition, almost certain to be part of a recently announced Caribbean Ascension tournament if it does come off, where the best teams from Jamaica, Grenada, Barbados, and here in Trinidad and Tobago will square off against each other. Certainly something that local fans and regional football fans would be licking their chops, thinking about. Likes of Harbour View FC here in Trinidad and Tobago, certainly something that fans will be looking at. Well, here's a chance for Guerra. Oh, that would have been the hat trick. You can't get them all, as that one just missed its mark. It's perhaps the easiest of the chances he's converted so far today, Atula Guerra. He might have felt that he was pushed there. Jamal Crichton, but plays allowed to continue. Looking for Legal. Well, Real Gill certainly made a lot of height there, getting above him. Has to hurry. It's Kadeem Corbin. And, well, Legal, says the referee's assistant. Did seem to get around his man quite easily, Corbin. Well, you can just feel the air of disappointment around the ground from the team in black. Certainly would have come into this contest hoping to put up a good challenge. But he's done well to keep it, hasn't he? Here's Julian. Well won by Real Gill. Well, made his man disappear. Well, that's another one as well. Well, after all of the oohs and ahs, it came to naught. But that's certainly what he's capable of, Real Gill. Or maybe here's another chance. Tyrone Charles. Gill keeps it alive for Charles, and the intended pass for Kadeem Corbin is well cut off. Well, they can't get a break, can they? Yes, Guerra, hat-trick on his mind. He's created the space, and the crossbar. Well, that has denied him getting a third. That certainly would have put him level with Brent Sam as the competition's leading goal scorer. He's done everything well, Atula Guerra, so far. certainly has the appetite for scoring goals. How about this man? Here's Gill. Well, here goes Gill. And a fortunate deflection sends it peacefully in the hands of Stefan Berkeley. But for once, the goalkeeper was the one with some luck. It's thanks to that skinny white frame. Well, certainly no resting for the defending team. Got to defend a throw deep inside the area. Oh, that's well won. Well, they did get some fortune. Can he keep it alive? It's well won by Leslie Russell. Well, that's not the most convincing clearance that you're going to see all evening. Looking for Guerra. And well offside. Allowed it to run through to Tyrone Charles. Just didn't have the legs to find its way through to him. Well, can they get a break, Cunupia? Sturge is heavily opposed to that. He cut off that attacking intent quite early. Well, here's Guerra. He's been twice denied after scoring a double in this match. Here's Ash. Can he make an impact? He's placed Russ Russell Jr. in the starting lineup today. Oh, quite an interesting shape employed by Terminix Rangers. 3 defenders at the back. Three attackers. And the boogeyman, here he goes, Real Gill. Wow, allowed it to run across his body. Thought that Crichton might have been in behind it, but he has another chance now. Well, you just wonder how much longer they can keep them out. Cunupia. They're huffing and they're puffing. And again, goes through. Nobody in red to connect with it. Yet to register a shot on target, the team in black. And, well, luck certainly hasn't followed them either. Sturge, Gill. Well, they're certainly finding space. Cunupia dropping quite deep inside their third of the field. Cowie. Well, he has a wall of red in front of him. And, well, can't get the better of Sturge. I don't think he's been beaten once for the evening so far, Caleb Sturge. Oh, that's bun and cheese for Jabari St. Hilaire. Three and a half minutes remaining in the first half, and well, picking up the pieces at the moment. Cunupia FC, they trail by 5 goals to 0. 2 goals for Kadeem Corbin, 2 for Atula Guerra, and 1 scored by Daniel David. And at the moment, might just do what no team has done so far in the competition. Remain unbeaten, Terminix Rangers, and maybe score more goals. Well, not this time. Graham had other ideas. Sturge goes in search of Gill. It's floated across on the right side of the attack. Andrews looking for Corbin. Paul is certainly hungry for everything. Kept it alive. Can he find a red shirt? He does find Tyrone Charles. Can't get through the traffic. Sturge does well enough to keep the possession for Rangers. Andrews. Charles. Well, he's created a yard of space, but he couldn't get the crossover. Maybe now, Corbin. Oh, that's good. And when he's looking for better, wouldn't have counted anyway. The assistant's flag was up, but he's hoping for that special moment, Kadeem Corbin, and perhaps a hat-trick as well. Well, if anything, certainly entertained some of the crowd. Stefan Julian having no chance in containing him. Just couldn't get it under the crossbar in the end. Just over 30 seconds remaining before half-time, and if anybody's going to be looking at the clock keenly, certainly will be the team in black. They need fresh ideas. They need a break at the moment. Crichton, well, he thought about it and, well, tried to make his thought a reality. Does get a corner out of it. Maybe the last chance before half-time to get something extra on the board. 2 players with eyes on a hat-trick at the moment for Terminix Rangers. And although they lead by 5 goals to 0, they've got 9 men in the area. And, well, they'll have to wait for the remaining 45 minutes. But in the meantime, though, they're quite satisfied with the production that they have in the first 45. It is one that they've scored 5 goals in. 2 goals for Kadeem Corbin, 2 goals for Atula Guerra, 1 for Daniel David, and a hefty 5-0 scoreline at the half. Well, they need a patch job. They need a miracle, perhaps. Cunupia FC, if they are to get any way back in this contest, because at half-time, it is Terminix La Horquetta Rangers 5, Cunupia FC 0. We take a pause and we come back with the first half goodies.
but not on my watch. No street, no turf, no block shall belong to these cockroaches. Right? It's no longer business as usual. Happy hour is over. If they don't fear God, at least they will fear Terminix.
Have you considered how your methods could impact on pests across the country?
I find we look after the rights of pests as opposed to the rights of the 1.3 million law-abiding citizens in Trinidad and Tobago. I wonder if Roach Ladden's son come here for the carnival, if you'll interview him, eh?
But how could you defend one shot, one kill?
What? You want me to throw a pillow at him?
I didn't say that.
No, well, if a roach jumps in front of you now, what will you do?
Run.
Oh, Jesus, Lord Father.
Pests bothering you? Call Terminix at 672-5007 or 672-0042 or visit our website at terminix.co.tt for a free quote and consultation. Join our fight against pests.
Lasso Friend Maritime Limited, the best in marina services. At our facilities, security checks ensures that all vehicles are secured. Our newly renovated bathrooms are always kept in a clean working order. Need repairs and maintenance? We have you covered. Our qualified workmen will get the job done. Boat storages,
Well, it's not El Dorado, but they've struck gold. Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, they lead by 5-0 against Cunupia FC. And it's only 45 minutes. Well, I know you're excited. Let's take a look quickly at the first half and how it panned out. If you're a Cunupia fan, you might want to cover your eyes because quite early it started with poor defensive posture and Kadeem Corbin from distance. Oh, yeah, he connects. And he got his account going early. Goal number 1 for Terminix Rangers. Stephen Berkeley perhaps feeling he could have done a bit better. Could have sun as well in his eyes. But he's a star. He's shining. 1-0 to Rangers. And then later, that challenge from Kadeem Graham earned him a place in the naughty book and Atula Guerra a ticket. And he cashed in from 11 yards and made it 2-0 to Terminix Rangers. Goal number 13 for the Trini Ronaldinho. Now sitting 2 goals behind Brent Sam, who's top of the goal scoring chart. Corbin though, never wanting to be left out of the conversation. Well, we got at the end of that. And we give him a chance from that type of range. He rarely ever disappoints. 2 goals for him, 3-0 to Rangers. But then Guerra, look at his first time pass from Jamal Crichton. And look at that first time finish as well. That's why they call him the Trini Ronaldinho. The author and the finisher. 4-0 to Terminix Rangers. Still lots more minutes to go. Nothing that man in green could do. It's been a spectator to 4 getting past him. Guerra moving on to goal number 14. And then Daniel David would get a gift as well. And when you get gifts, what you do, you unwrap them. And that's what he did, precisely. He got goal number 5 for Terminix Rangers. And while he was sitting pretty, he wasn't happy. And Cunupia left with 45 minutes of contemplation. And a miracle job at hand if they have to get something from this match. All right, let's see what the numbers look like. And, well, might be a horror. Just 1 shot on target for Cunupia FC compared to 13 from Terminix Rangers. And Brent Sanchi, you look at those numbers and it's scary.
Yeah, it's scary in terms of what Terminix Rangers have been able to do. They've been dominant in everything that you look at the shots on target, of course, corners, and the general flow of play outside of these stats. Rangers certainly have been dominant throughout this tournament, and today's game is a pontification on that.
Well, not very competitive inside the first 45, but last Friday, certainly very exciting football. And Cunupia, in fact, they were in action against AC Port of Spain as we look back at last Friday's highlight, right here at the La Horquetta Recreation Ground. AC Port of Spain, one of the informed teams, certainly that man Che Benny as well. And they came to play, but it was the capital men showing their quality early, forcing Berkeley into a save. But he certainly had opportunities. Moquette didn't take much. But of course, quality always shines through. Che Benny forcing a save from Berkeley. And then when Chervin Cesar was unearthed, a free kick was given. Caleb Douglas. A bit of ingenuity. And look at that for a finish. Smiles on the face of Cunupia. And then Hakeem Legal would set it up nice to Douglas. And look at that for a save. That's perhaps the save of the week. But AC Port of Spain would roar back in the contest through this man, Sidale McLean, getting a bit of help from the defender. But he did get an equalizer. That made it 1-1. And then almost a carbon copy. And call him Pythagoras because he can find the right angle. And that made it 2-1 to AC Port of Spain. More chances, but Berkeley tried to keep out as much as he could. Couldn't keep out everything because Jabari Raphael eventually did get on the score sheet, and he made it 3-1 as AC Port of Spain got the win over Cunupia FC. And then later on, Terminix Rangers already learning that they have already clinched the title. They took on 4th place Deportivo Point Fortin. This match expected to be a banger. And wow, Nathaniel Garcia, he got that memo. Tried to bang it from distance. But when we talk about banger, Idonia was speaking about this man, Kadeem Corbin. He opened the scoring, 1-0 to Rangers. Deportivo, though, not out of it. They kept it alive. Guerra kept it a contest as well, forcing Marvin Phillip into a save. But then, when things were swinging, that happened. Yeah, you can't get clumsy inside the area. Kayam Thomas taken down, and Guerra, well, he doesn't miss. And he hit the jackpot, and he gave his team a 2-0 lead. Not much recovery time for Point Fortin. And then Tyrone Charles. How about this for a scorcher? Just wonder, does that make the calendar to score so many great goals? Point Fortin, though, did finally get something on the score sheet, Akeem Redhead, but that was only consolation as they went down 3-1 to Terminix Rangers. Exciting football we've seen in the Ascension tournament so far, Brent.
Yeah, certainly it has been a treat for the fans that have been watching outside of the La Horquetta venue, and certainly a treat for the ones that have been here. It's a good mixture of entertainment and sports entertainment, of course, from the performances, and we've had some excellent goal scoring powers throughout the tournament.
Well, let's look back at some of those yummy, tasty golden treats, and as we look back at the top 10 goals of the tournament. Oh, so many great goals, and I'm sure some of your favorites, you might not have seen it, but so many goals, you could only choose 10. Which was your favorite?
Yeah, could only choose 10. I do, of course, James, lean towards the Riyad Moore goal. I think in terms of when it happened, it was in the dying stages of the game, a game that was very, very tight. And of course, he conjured up an equalizer from nothing. So for me, has to be Moore.
Yeah, Kyle Thomas is one of my favorites as well. Extreme skill from a young man, and well, so many more goals. I'm sure we might get some more before the end of this match or the end of this evening as well in the Ascension tournament. Well, 45 minutes to come. We're going to take a pause, and when we come back, second half action.
Frame Maritime Limited, the best in marina services. At our facilities, security checks ensures that all vehicles are secured. Our newly renovated bathrooms are always kept in a clean working order. Need repairs and maintenance? We have you covered. Our qualified workmen will get the job done. Boat storages, from our marina, you can easily push off for a family sailing trip. Out fishing with the boys.
Well, we've already seen 5 goals. Are there to be any more? Well, 45 minutes will answer that question. The Ascension Football Tournament, Matchweek 18. Terminix Rangers leading by 5-0 over Cunupia FC. Brent Sancho, of course, former TNT International World Cup defender, is here with me. What do you believe the team talk would have been at halftime? You go in trailing by 5-0 in this match.
Well, it's all about containment, really, from a Cunupia perspective, keeping your discipline. And of course, personal pride as well, and professionalism. Hasn't been the type of first half that they would have wanted, but certainly the second half of football, keeping a scoreline reasonable, and of course trying to play themselves back into it. It has been a difficult half for them, but more importantly, there's 45 more minutes plus to play, and an opportunity to get some sort of to salvage some sort of pride from it.
Well, coming into this match, many would have thought that the goal-scoring race was, well, pretty much over. Brent Sam, 3 goals ahead of Atula Guerra, 4 goals ahead of Kadeem Corbin. But after one half of football, and Atula Guerra is just within 1 goal. It's an interesting battle heating up there. Is it achievable?
Yeah, it is very much achievable, and I'm very sure in the minds of Guerra and even Corbin, who is not too far behind as well, they would think that they have a chance, of course, to catch up with that man, Brent Sam, who is on 15 goals. Remember, James, he comes up next against Police FC, and he may be thinking himself that he can extend his lead. So there is a lot to play for in this 45 minutes. But I think from a Rangers point of view, I think they will want to put a bit of more champagne and ice and put a little cherry on top of the cake.
Oh, speaking of champagne and ice, the fans are out this evening. Of course, they're going to be crowning that team in red. They've gone through the competition unbeaten. 18 games if they hold on to this result without defeat. 3 draws. And what a competition they've had. The Cunupia FC, it's been a seesaw competition, and they certainly want to end on a higher note than the first half would suggest. But first, they've got to deal with the reinforcements coming in. Ross Russell Jr. and Kyle Thomas sent to join the bunch. And well, when you take players out of the starting lineup of Terminix Rangers, it's never a downgrade when you've got reinforcement of that quality.
Yeah, we talked about the quality of the squad throughout this tournament, and not only that, James. Yes, quality, but there has been a lot of consistency in what they've been able to do. We've seen so many times in football where you do have a deep squad of players, but if they're not on the same page, there can be some challenges. But what we've seen with Rangers, it always has been like for like, and in some instances, it has been an upgrade in terms of the performance in the second half with the ones that are coming in. But one thing has been certain, they have been very, very consistent in what they've been able to do.
Well, referee Timothy Derry, he's had a pretty incident-free first half. Just one yellow card issued to Kadeem Graham. And he'd certainly love to have it remain much of the same, as 45 minutes of football will determine how the outcome of this match will end. Well, just like they started, or they finished rather, they start the second half, Terminix Rangers on the front foot. Already in search of more treasure. Golden boot race, keep your eyes on that. Atula Guerra, he is on 14 goals, just one behind leader Brent Sam, who comes up next against Police. Kadeem Corbin following Guerra. He's 2 goals behind, he's on 13. And to think that Guerra, he's hit the crossbar twice in the first half, even after scoring 2 goals.
Well, I'm sure his mind is on this 45 minutes because, as you rightfully said, he would have hit the crossbar, but he would think that there's some goals in it for him.
Well, here's Tyrone Charles. He'd certainly love to get his name on the sheet as well. Well, Real Gill tried his luck. Couldn't get through the traffic. Here's Douglas. Lost out to Kyle Thomas, who gets his first touch. Trevin Caesar. Maloney. Douglas. Couldn't pick out Vigal. Well, Rangers, they do enjoy building up out of the back, allowing teams to come onto them and exploit the space left behind. Cunupia certainly would have learned their lesson about that in the first half. It's Kyle Thomas. Scored one of the goals of the tournament. Leslie Russell to Russ Russell. Looking for Guerra. Well cut out by Cowie. Here's Kadeem Corbin. Guerra. It's quite unselfish there, Kadeem Corbin. Chose to tee up his teammate. Well, Matthew Legal, says the referee.
Well, it's a teammate he's vying for top goal scorer with, so it's it has been that type of performance throughout the tournament from Rangers, professional and efficient. Not sure many would be doing that, James, if it's a straight competition, and it's not just to be the top goal scorer in the tournament. There is some significant prize money behind it as well.
Ross Russell Jr. Couldn't pick out Guerra. Well, it's good to see that he can still enjoy his football. Maloney, despite the scoreline.
I don't think I've ever seen a player attempt that type of skill being 5-0 down.
Oh, let's see. Last day of school, class party.
I wasn't allowed to the class party if I had an F in school.
Well, good evening to all of our viewers all across the region. Thank you for tuning in to the Ascension tournaments. It's the final Friday evening of the competition. The first major competition in Trinidad and Tobago coming out of the pandemic, and certainly has been a pretty decent competition by all standards.
Yeah, and I think more importantly, coming into the tournament, there were some concerns because, of course, football had been impacted by the pandemic and of course, the restrictions that were placed throughout the country. And, of course, fitness comes to mind, whether or not the standard of play would be good, and, of course, the amount of games that were going to be played. And certainly a lot of boxes have been ticked here in the Ascension tournament. A lot of players, of course, have come to age in this tournament. A lot of youngsters as well have been able to be unearthed in this tournament. So it has been a success through and throughout, and certainly something that has lit up the footballing calendar here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, certainly had all rights to go for it. Well, he did well to keep it in, but he does give up possession. Oh, Kobe has to hurry, and it's taken out illegally by Kadeem Corbin. I could just see the drop shoulders from some of the Cunupia players.
Well, it's not just the scoreline, James. I think it's the continued effort, energy, and enthusiasm that Rangers is showing despite being 5-0 up. And if you are a defender in Cunupia, you're thinking to yourself, when are they going to put the handbrakes up or put the car in neutral a bit to give us a bit of a breather? But they haven't done that. It's just been amazing, the hunger and drive that they've been showing throughout this game. And as I said, being 5-0 up, you tend sometimes to some complacency to step in, as well, of course, a team to get into a bit of a shell. But certainly, Rangers is not showing that.
Well, it's a bad giveaway by the gal, and well, St. Hilaire got some exercise.
Commentators curse. A bit complacent there by Russell Jr. He can be afforded that. He's had an outstanding tournament.
Certainly has, and both ends of the ball, both defensively and offensively, he's thrived this season. Sturge. I am Thomas. Looking for Guerra. Well, he got in a good position. Just couldn't get his header down in the end. Tyrone Charles, the man at the end of it. Certainly did well for himself to get into that position.
Again, the enthusiasm, the desire. So many would have left it, and there's Tyrone Charles at 5-0 up, still trying to get his head on it. True testament to this Rangers team. And you have to sing them praises, James. You have to. They've been outstanding throughout the tournament. When you look 1 through 22, 24 players, it's not many you can point the finger and say that they haven't done well enough or they haven't given 110%.
Oh, there's still a player down at the moment. And, well, he's gotten to his feet and they're going to be happy about that. There's Caleb Douglas. Did score a phenomenal goal last week. Our play will continue now after the short rest. Dominic Douglas can find a way through. Maybe now he can. But that's good from him. Well, Real Gill. They've got 4 versus 3 at the moment. Corbin. Well, it's not the best ever pass from Kadeem Corbin, but you're likely to see. Legal. Well, just ran out of ideas for a second. Had the intention of finding Julian, who's been pushed further forward than we've seen him all season. Charles. Well, he got past Cowie quite easily. Space here to cross! And that's it, the hat-trick! For Atula Guerra. Level on goals with Brent Sam. And well, we've got an interesting contest. The score might be 6-0 to Rangers, but here's a new contest on our hands. He's eyeing the top prize.
Well, this goal was made, manufactured, and packaged by that man there, number 11, Tyrone Charles. What a delicious delivery. And the simplest of tasks has been asked by that man, Atula Guerra. With that nod of the head, has put him on par with Brent Sam. And I dare you to suggest that he won't go ahead.
Well, I'm sure somewhere in the dressing room, Brent Sam is getting ready for his matchup against Police. Will have gotten the news.
I think he'll be taking a team talk, Brent Sam. He's going to be telling his teammates, give me the ball.
Well, Cunupia FC continue to hemorrhage goals. Well, they do get some luck from the referee this time. It's a free kick. Well, he's opened up some space. Chauvin Caesar had lots of work to do to keep possession. Did manage to do it successfully before being taken out by Kadeem Corbin. Well, Brent, some might say that Atula Guerra, his career has been a topsy-turvy one. Very good highs when he's been good, and some ordinary periods. But I dare anybody to put down a motivated Atula Guerra. When he's motivated, he's one of the best that we see locally.
And he has every right to make excuses, of course. Unfortunate coming back from Charleston Battery, where he was outstanding for them. And so many coming back into the country can drop your shoulders, lose motivation, as you rightfully said, and dip in form. But you have to suggest, James, that he's grown in stature as this tournament has gone on. He was a bit part player at the start of it, and then he became a lot more influential, not just by his goal-scoring ability, but I think his overall and all-round play. And, you know, if for a player of that age, of course, that ability, it's very easy to close the door on your imagination and where you can go. He hasn't done that. He's played like a 16-year-old.
Certainly a top player, Atula Guerra. But he's looking to be top by himself in the competition, but his attempt to find Kadeem Corbin is cut out this time. What a competition he's had. Did miss quite a few games, Atula Guerra, but he has come back and done well for himself. Oh, there will be a change for Cunupia FC. Stefan Berkeley, after conceding 6 goals, will be rested. And in his place comes Jean-Pierre David. I don't think he can be faulted for many of the goals that got past him. Defense, however, haven't been as forthright in defending him. Well, they'll have work to do now, though. Oh, that's a wall. Taken off the head of Guerra by Kadeem Graham. By far has been the most outstanding player for Cunupia.
Well, he's trying to lead by example. It's unfortunate that some of his teammates have let him down a bit. It's not necessarily a question of whether there's ability there. I think it's the attitude towards doing well. This could be problems.
Well, they live to fight another day. Gotta stop Corbin first, and wow! Jean-Pierre David has been called into action almost immediately. And showed that he was up for the task he's been put in to do. And well, on the opposite end, they did have a chance to Hilaire Brewster, who just came on, and oh, he didn't take memos from the team in red.
Well, Corbin dips inside. We've seen him done that so many times. Ball just ping-ponged around the box. I'm sure the captain there, Crichton, may have felt that he could have done better, but he was stretching.
Certainly did look off balance as well. Well, there has been more changes for Cunupia. Hilaire Brewster has come on. Oh goodness! Well, when you're at the bottom, they say the only place you can go is up. And Josiah Daniel, oh, he's gotten fans out of their seat, and they're up celebrating perhaps one of the goals of the competition. Cunupia have pulled one back, 6-1.
Well, I know we have some of the more talented persons in this Sportsmax staff. I wonder if they can reproduce the top 10 goals and add this in. What a strike here by Daniel. He looked like he had no choice, James, but to kick the football, and that's what he did. Strike the lacing straight through it. And St. Hilaire would have looked at it and thought, not putting my hand on that. What a strike from the young man. I think that's his first touch.
I think he needed a passport to get up there in the first place. Well, he's tested again this time, and it's a test that he does pass. I'm not quite sure Rangers expected that one. It came out of nothing.
I don't think anybody expected that one. He was looking for a pass, he's looking for an option, but it just never came. Oh, that's naughty. That is very naughty.
Well, two-footed, and
he can protest all he like once your studs are up, and now he's adding to the insult. I'm very surprised that he hasn't been booked. Once your studs are up, James, there's no question. You could win the football 100 times out of 100. His studs were showing.
Well, I think if there were video assistant referee, he might have been in trouble. According to my records as well, he's already been booked. Has to be careful.
I'm not sure if it was needed. I know he's the type of player that wants to be aggressive, wants to lead. But to lunge like that,
look at the cast standing behind the yellow ball. No Kayum Thomas and Ike Andrews, the first choice set piece takers. And no surprise, there's one Atula Guerra standing behind it.
I think he's interested in any dead ball. He's going to start taking goal kicks too. Wants to get on the score sheet again.
Is there something special to be had from Guerra? Well, he came close enough. He's hungry, I can tell you that much.
It was always going to be difficult, James, to get it up and down. I did think for a second that he was going to go for just pure force and power. But he went for trickery and a tinge of power. But as I said, it's tough to get that ball going up and down.
Oh, we're a long way past the hour mark, 5 minutes to be precise. And score 6 goals to 1, maybe 2. Well,
that's a chance.
The Gal needed something better.
It was a chance for sure, James.
Or maybe Guerra can show exactly how it's done. Or Tyrone Charles, for that matter. And, well, he's unlucky.
And I wonder why he turned out. Just a couple minutes ago, he made a very good cross with that very same left foot onto the head of Atula Guerra. Thought he would have tried to do the same there. Again, another player with an outstanding tournament. He has been part of domestic football here in Trinidad and Tobago for quite some time.
And what we've talked about the main goal scorers for Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, after Kadeem Corbin, well, his name sits right up there. Tyrone Charles, 7 goals in the competition for him. I think he's been used as a bit part player in this team. Just shows you the attacking quality that he's got. Well, the drums continue to beat, and seems to fuel the players forward. Haven't dropped the intensity, Rangers. Well, they got to give kudos to Cunupia FC. They've managed to pull a goal back. Goal out of nothing, scored by Josiah Daniel, the substitute. Well, can the game plan be any clearer? Find Guerra. Do you think that changes the synergy of the football when you have a player vying for a particular target like the top goal scorer? Does it change your game in any way as a team, or is it easy to maintain control of the way you'd like to play?
Well, I think that's the interesting thing about this game. It's that when you look at the Rangers' performance, it's what we've seen throughout the tournament. It doesn't look like they are, of course, trying to force the issue in getting the ball to Guerra. But Guerra, Corbin, Charles, they've interchanged. They've been very, very impactful in what they've done. And of course, they've been ably supplied by the middle of the park and the flank players. So to answer your question, I think they're just doing what they know what to do.
Brighton. Ike Andrews. Guerra. Oh, he's got Jewel. Guerra. Oh, the whistle goes. But his eyes lit up as bright as the football that they're kicking around. Fortunately for him, the referee spotted an infringement.
I think if there was a blot on the sheet of Terminix La Horquetta Rangers, it would be defensively. They have conceded, well, this is 23 goals now, and teams like Defence Force and Police have 13 and 21, and of course even 17 from Deportivo. And for a team that scores as many goals as they do and dominate games sometimes as they do, I think that would probably be the only blot that you would look at. And when you look back at the goals as well, James, they've been careless.
Tyrone Charles. It's a foul against Charles. Called belatedly. Tell you who's not happy, the man to the far left of your screen, who's being calmed down by the fourth official. Shows you the passion that they play with Rangers. 6-0 and contesting everything. Oh, 6-1. Almost took a goal away from Cunupia. My apology. Well, this is an interesting foot race. Hilaire Brewster. And, well, they just haven't made the most of the few opportunities they did get to get a sniff at goal, Cunupia. Well, still high pressing. 6 goals and foot is not off the accelerator.
I'm looking at the way they're set up as well, James, tactically, and they're throwing a lot of numbers forward despite being 6 goals to 1 up. So many times in football you see a team, of course, drop their line of engagement and focus a bit more on possessing the football and game management. This Rangers team want to add, of course, to the goal scoring tally that they have, which is now up to 70. That is a lot of goals to score in a tournament.
Well, just to think that the current stacking trio have scored 35 of those 70 goals and are looking to add more. Charles is turning away from challenges. Has he run out of room?
Well, he has no support.
Look at this. Oh, the defender's not happy. Well, that's a long throw. Forced Julian. And now the goalkeeper Jean-Pierre David to get in the act. Caesar. Man from Lambo, Tobago. Rangers ball. Could form nicely for Kaim Thomas. Well, it needed some more direction. Advantage is played here to Ike Andrews. He's got numbers to aim for. And again, Graham out of nowhere. Corbin has kept this one alive. Well, they're not letting up, the team in red. He's thinking about it. It's well cut off. Well, they're not doing themselves favor. Giving back to Rangers. It's a corner. Gill. Oh. Did manage to find some room, but he couldn't get further. A break could be on. The flag is down. Well, it's finally gone up. And Akeem Legal, well, he thought he was in a legal position.
Well, he just had to look to the left or the right of him. And there was no need for him to go offside there. Once Cesar won the football, just had to keep himself onside. Maybe simpler to see than to do, especially from where I come from as a centre half.
It's a long way to get offside. Well, this is good.
That's just outstanding.
Guerra! Well, it's bumped on the wrong, it's pinball. And finally, they get it away. Look closer to a lunchtime football scrap than what you usually see at this level. Feet were flaring all over the place. Well, Julian and Graham, they've been overworked, haven't they? Done their job.
And this is why they keep giving the ball away.
Well, play continues. Guerra. And it's won back by Gill, illegally so, says referee Derry. Oh, less than 15 minutes remaining in the second half. They've done reasonably well defensively, Cunupia. But it's on this end of the field that they've sorely lacked. And they will throw bodies forward yet again. Terminix La Horquetta Rangers. He's going past his man, wow, and Kera again is fouled by Stephen Julian. Here's Crichton. Well, he's done really well, Crichton. And again, Julian is there. He's omnipresent, isn't he? Oh, as Graham paid for his hard work. Both Graham and Julian have really combined their forces to stop the hemorrhaging that we saw in the first half.
And of course that has been caused by the individual errors. They've been beaten so easily in 1v1 situations. I'm not suggesting that the Rangers players are easy to stop, but it hasn't been difficult.
Well, you have the right idea. Fortunately, not all ideas are successful. Oh, here they come again. It's like a wave. They just keep coming. And, well, yet another boot gets in the way of more joy for Rangers. Not a very good corner by Gill. It's a goal kick. Well, don't forget, after this match, it's a big one. Second and third place teams come up against each other. The Defense Force, just 1 point above Police FC. They'll be looking to lock the second place position. Certainly they'd have their eyes on the potential Caribbean Ascension League. How about that from Guerra? He's lost it, but a good effort to try and win it back. Well won by Crichton. Well, plays allowed to continue. He thought he was fouled for a second. Leslie Russell comes to his rescue. Here's Russ Jr. Oh, it's too heavy for Raul Felix to get anywhere close to. Here's Maloney. Has won a free kick for his team. Haven't won many battles this evening. They'd be happy for the little ones that they do win. Miguel. That's a good ball. It's played in, and a flag related. Caleb Douglas certainly made a good run in behind, but pass perhaps a little too late.
I think it's in those moments is why Cunupia have suffered their fate. Whether it's from poor decision making, that's a good move.
Well, he has made a nuisance of himself since coming on.
He's very direct.
Very direct. Scored the only goal for the Central team. Certainly uses height for this set piece here. Caesar. Brewster. Wow. Can't complain of not getting chances. Certainly had a lot more in the second half than they saw in the first half.
And again, it's the only blot, of course, on Rangers' paper. They do give up some very, very soft goals at times. We've talked about how professional they've been offensively, but certainly sometimes defensively they've left questions.
Well, the flag is down, and Guerra looking for goal number 4, and well, stood up like a statue and defended his goal very well, Jean-Pierre David. Tell you what, the entire Rangers bench is off their seat for cheering him on.
Well, he had a chance. That was certainly a chance. Of course, on his weaker left foot. But a man of that quality, player of that quality, I don't know if there's such a thing as a weaker left foot.
Here's Corbin. Oh, close. Not on target though. Might be time for some changes for Cunupia. Siobhan Young is the player who will make his entrance. There'll be an added attacking option as Shavin Cesar also comes off, and he's replaced by Cornel Miguel. Well, is there something more for Cunupia in this contest? Not this time. Good looking ball in the area. Here's the substitute, and he can control it, Miguel. Foot race could be on for Tyrone Charles. He's won it. Looking for some space. Well, he's certainly been having issues all evening defending Tyrone Charles. Joel Felix, and he's been having some swings at him. Don't think any have really connected, but there have been shouts of concern from the Rangers bench. Charles doesn't seem to mind though. Looking for Crichton, and easy for Jean-Pierre David. Oh, it's a high knee from Sturge right in front of the referee. Just making sure that Miguel is okay, and Sturge gets his customary yellow card. Agreed with the decision, Brent?
I'm surprised it's just a yellow. And you know I'm a big fan of a tough challenge.
And a big fan of Sturge.
And a big fan of Sturge, correct. Looked like something straight out of UFC.
Well, has he got another victim? And since Miguel has come on, he's already won 3 fouls. This one perhaps giving them a shot at getting close to goal. It's a free kick. They're all lining up to take it. Maloney, it's Josiah Daniel, all trying to beat that man in goal. Oh, Congress has gotten longer. Miguel perhaps wants it himself as well. Maybe Ilea Brewster.
When I see that amongst the players around the football, I get worried, James. And that's why.
Good time to take a look at our Sportsmax app moment. And we've had so many moments. Your guess is as good as mine. But it's this one. Yep. He dialed long distance and he made the right connection, Josiah Daniel. So Sportsmax app moment. Certainly so. Well, I think Tyrone Charles met his match there for a second. Kadeem Graham. He's been having fun with Joel Felix. Well, the misery should be over soon for Cunupia. Just under 3 minutes of regulation time remaining in this fixture. They're going to be happy to get back to the locker room. Final game of the season for them. They've done really well in the second half at containing Rangers. I don't think Rangers have let off the intensity. They've just done better defensively.
Yeah, they've seemingly been a bit more organized, despite the fact that they have given up a lot of chances. I think it's a combination as well, James, that of Rangers not being as potent as it was in the first half. I'm not sure if not potent and Rangers go in the same sentence, but for this description it has to be. When you look at the amount of goals they've scored in this tournament, as I said, I just can't remember a team scoring 70 goals in a tournament. That's a lot of goals. And when you start dissecting why they're champions, that's one of the main factors.
Goals win matches, you always hear that going up. scrappy from Rangers. And that's good defending from Leslie Russell. Well, he certainly has caused a stir, Miguel, since coming on. He's won 3 fouls. He's been getting in behind defense.
I think when you look at the goals that Cunupia have conceded, as I said, in the 1v1 situations, they've not done well. They've either been beaten badly or exposed badly. And when that happens from a defensive perspective, it doesn't matter how well you're shaped tactically, how well you're organized, you just don't give yourself a chance. And I think when you look back at it, Cunupia has really not only shot themselves in the foot, but from an individual perspective, just haven't been good enough.
Well, just 2 minutes will be added as the 90 has expired. Cunupia, though, they do have a chance to get another consolation. But what about this man? Has a chance to get 4. He wants it badly. Well, needed better accuracy. He's had a good night. He's done well, tried his best.
But he hasn't stopped running. And when you look at the composition of this Rangers squad, you'd look at Guerra, Charles, even Corbin. Of course, Russell at the back, the captain. Crichton as the experienced campaigners, as the ones that are the elder statesmen in this team. They've looked nothing like elder statesmen. They've been running at the same pace as the youngsters.
Asking for more time, maybe?
He probably is. Won't be surprised if he pulls on a police uniform and comes out and play the second game.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Brent Sam fails to score, might have to share the golden boot. But I wouldn't bet on Brent Sam not scoring, though. I don't care who he's playing against. Well, is there one last chance for Terminix Rangers and Tula Guerra?
It's got to be it. It's got to be it. It's a good save.
Oh, maybe now. And it is Kyle Thomas. Has it counted? I'm not even sure. It has counted. 7-1 to Terminix La Horquetta Rangers. And what a performance from the league champions as they've crowned off a successful season. 18 games they've faced in the competition and they have remained unbeaten thanks to that man, Kadeem Corbin and the Tula Guerra. 28 goals between the attacking pair. What a moment for Dave Quamina and his team. Well, this is how it happened, the final goal. Guerra's shot deflected in the part of Kyle Thomas, and well, he's not going to say no to an opportunity from that close. Well, cue the celebration, cue the champagne. The champions of the Ascension tournament are about to be crowned. Well, they're going over to the main pavilion to celebrate with the folks who've helped them every single evening. They've come out here to play. All a big moment. Terminix Rangers. Let's look at how they did it today to cap off their 18th unbeaten match. Swan team stood in their way. But Guerra and company were having none of it. Kadeem Corbin started the party early with that laser. Top corner. Nothing Berkeley could do to keep it out. a way to shine. And then Guerra winning the penalty, the challenge from Graham. Gave him an opportunity to get the first of his 3 goals. And he doesn't miss, certainly not from 11 yards. Corbin, though, kept the race alive, getting Rangers' 3rd goal, his 2nd. What a tournament he's had. And look at this, Crichton, the first-time ball into Guerra. And that's quality. The Trini Ronaldinho doing the business. Getting his 2nd of the match, Rangers 4th. Daniel David decided to join the scoring party himself, scoring the 5th Rangers goal. That was the score at halftime until Tyrone Charles turned things up in the 2nd. And Guerra getting the hat-trick, his 3rd of the evening. But it was all crafted and designed by that man, Charles. Easy peasy for Guerra. 3 goals for him, putting him the joint top scorer in the competition with Brent Sam. What a moment. 6-0 to Terminix Rangers. But Cunupia would have something to say, and it's the substitute Josiah Daniel. How about that from way downtown? Consolation and something to remember long after the tournament has been completed. Josiah Daniel with a wonder goal out of nothing. Kadeem Graham and the rough challenge and Rush Jr. did give them a chance perhaps to get Guerra's 4th. But not even him and his quality could get it under the crossbar. Didn't stop him from trying though. As he captained Crichton, but they couldn't beat Kadeem Graham. On the opposite end, Cunupia did start creating some chances of their own, but it was not to be. And Guerra had a chance for his 4th of the match. But that man stood in his way time and time again. But there was to be one more goal in this match, and it belonged to Terminix Rangers. Guerra's shot deflected into the path of Kyle Thomas, and he made certain from close range. 7-1. The final score here in La Horquetta. Let's talk about the numbers and how they lined up, and expect to see a very lopsided statistic. 21 shots to 7. 12 on target for Terminix La Horquetta Rangers compared to 3 by Cunupia FC. And look at the saves category. 12 saves for Cunupia and their goalkeepers. And only 3 for Terminix Rangers and Jabari St-Hilaire. 7-1, a final score in favor of Terminix La Horquetta Rangers. Well, from those 7, 4, or 3 rather, was scored by one man. They called him the Trini Ronaldinho, and Brent is standing by with him. Atula Guerra, our man of the match.
I'm now joined by man of the match, Atula Guerra. 3 points, undefeated throughout the tournament. Happy man, mission accomplished?
Yes, very much. You know, we are very thankful to come out on a high and finish the tournament on a positive note. And, you know, it was very good to go out there and give our best foot in our performance tonight.
Well, of course, from an individual perspective, scoring 3 goals here tonight, 3 outstanding goals. Talk us through 2 of your goals.
Well, you know, basically I was just in the right place when Sam put it and I execute after. The first goal was, you know, off a true ball from Corbin where I slide to try to just poke it in, and I also get a penalty. So it was, you know, a pleasure to score the hat-trick tonight and to stay on a high.
Well, of course, you've had your adversity throughout your career. This, a statement by Atula Guerra that he's back and should be in national team colours?
You know, it's just thankful to be back on the pitch, you know, and it's been so long we haven't played football in Trinidad. 2 years with the pandemic and, you know, the corona had kept football out for a while. And I want to give Mr. Ferguson all praises for throwing this tournament and having us back on the pitch, you know. So it's all a pleasure to hear and thankful for this tournament. So, you know, hopefully we'll see how it goes with the national team.
Congratulations to you, Atula Guerra. You are our man of the match. And of course, all the congratulations to you and Terminix La Horquetta Rangers.
Thank you, Brent. Pleasure.
Of course, Atula Guerra, man of the match for today. An outstanding performance. 3 goals by Atula Guerra, 7 goals by his team, and a whopping 70 goals throughout this tournament. Certainly been a dominant performance by Terminix La Horquetta Rangers. But I'm now joined by the head coach of Cunupia FC, Mr. Michael Defoe. Of course, disappointing result. How do you assess your team's performance today?
Well, in the first half, somewhere on the field list, somebody made some changes that I did not authorize for whatever reason. And in the second half, we corrected it, and the game played accordingly. And yeah, kudos to the team that won the game. And when next we play in football again, we're back at the drawing board.
Well, of course, the penultimate game for Cunupia FC. How do you assess the overall Ascension tournament?
Well, actually, I was very impressed with the organization, and actually, with the televising of the games, a few of our players who started playing with us now playing other places because they were able to show what they could do, I want to say. So it augured well for football. It augured well for us. It has now become a pre-season for us. So we were able to see our shortcomings and where we have gaps to be filled in. So that was good for us.
Well, of course, thank you very much, Mr. Defoe, and congratulations to your team, Cunupia FC, in competing in the Ascension tournament.
Thank you.
Of course, coach of Cunupia FC, talking about the television and the televised games and the importance it has been for his players, who of course would have been seen right here on Sportsmax and been able to show. I'm now joined by the winning man in charge, a man that finally can give us a smile, Mr. Richard Ferguson of Terminix La Horquetta Rangers. Of course, Mr. Ferguson, I am very sure you're finally a happy man.
Well, certainly, Brent. You know, it's been a long road. It's been very difficult. But we don't see this as the end. We see it as the beginning. And in fact, you know, Coach Kwamina, Anthony Macano, Leslie Russell has already done analysis over the last 18 games, and they have come up with a lot of things that we need to improve on. And we have to get better at. You know, the finishing is really not as good as we want it to be. The tackling is not as potent. So there's a lot of work we still have to do to improve. You know, we are far from being the best that we can be, and we continue on that road.
Of course, it'd be remiss of me if I don't talk about the Ascension tournament, a tournament that you have executed to excellence. Tell us a bit more of the tournament and what you thought about the tournament as it took place here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Well, it was an excellent tournament. It gave Trinidad and Tobago a boost in terms of football. As you would know, Brent, football in Trinidad and Tobago is the most popular sport. And it has been in a depressed area over the last, I would say, decade. This tournament, I think, has taken football to a higher level. The television has been excellent. And, you know, the crowds are coming out to the games, which has never been done over the last 10 years. And, of course, the television has made the football very, very popular. And people would normally sit down Friday night, you know, and have their meal and their drink to watch the games on Sportsmax. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Well, of course, thank you, Mr. Ferguson. Not just congratulations on winning the tournament, but also obviously congratulations in hosting and executing an excellent Ascension tournament.
Yeah, and just one more thing, Brent, before I go. What I would also like to say is that the platform of football in Trinidad has changed. What we have done here is that we have actually been able to make money in football. You know, I can't say too many clubs have been able to do that, but we have been able to make some money through the the entertainment aspect. And that money has now been used to funnel into the Ascension Caribbean Cup. And hopefully that concept will continue, where teams are being self-sustaining.
Thank you very much. Well said by Mr. Ferguson. And of course, congratulations again for a successful tournament.
Thanks a lot, Brent.
Over to you, James.
Well, we've heard from the players involved, and what a competition it was. Terminix La Horquetta Rangers officially being crowned the champions after their 7-1 victory over Cunupia FC. We take a short look at Atula Guerra as he is standing by with Natalie from Sportsmax and receiving man of the match. Well, everybody certainly enjoyed the action, and I tell you what, we've got 90 minutes to go. The battle for second place heats up. When we return, Police versus the Defense Force.